Hey everyone, it's HMK. How are we feeling after that big revelation of the potential of Kingdom Hearts 4 being leaked by Nvidia GeForce Now? A lot of people have taken it a multitude of ways, thinking that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to come out relatively soon, or that they're just glad that Kingdom Hearts 4 was on the table or on the minds or on the cards at one point. However, I want to make this video on a bit of commentary that I've been seeing when it comes to the notion of Kingdom Hearts 4 and its potential release. You know, if and when. And I've been seeing a lot of people that are saying, don't expect Kingdom Hearts 4 for another 10 years, or that it's too soon for Kingdom Hearts 4, or that Kingdom Hearts 4 isn't going to come out until a number of games comes out between that of 3 and 4, like 3 or 4 games. And I want to talk about that a little bit because it is obviously derived from the developmental cycle that we went into with Kingdom Hearts 3. You know, with the game being announced in 2013 and coming out in 2019, and the number of games that came out between that of 2 and 3. While obviously with the weight of Kingdom Hearts 3, that whole idea was still fresh in a lot of people's minds, and that a lot of new fans entered the Kingdom Hearts community during that time. However, I feel that people really get twisted that was the norm for the Kingdom Hearts series. And I wanted to make this video breaking down that I don't believe that's the case, considering a bunch of variables. And like I've said before, in relation to Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't think the wait for Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be as long as a lot of people think it is. So if you're ready for that, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to HMK for more Kingdom Hearts content going into the future with Kingdom Hearts 4. By the way, if you haven't seen the previous 2 videos, check them out in the description box below. Alright, the first thing we need to talk about is that, sure, we did wait a long time between the release of Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, but we did get a bunch of games between those releases. And when it comes to the release schedule of Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2, it was only a 3-year turnaround with Chain of Memories in between. And with the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2019, having a possible announcement of Kingdom Hearts 4 in 2022 with a release year being in that or after that, that's around the same amount of time needed between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, a 3 or 4 year cycle. And considering that, a lot of people tend to forget that we almost got a Kingdom Hearts release every year since Kingdom Hearts started. And honestly, the developmental cycle and release between the games of Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 don't dictate the norm. Nomura obviously wanted to set up a grander story when it comes to what happens after Kingdom Hearts 2 into the finale of the Dark Seeker saga, which led to the releases and establishment of such games like Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, 358 Days, and Recoded. After the success of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you can't really blame him for wanting to do massive world building. And one of the biggest differences between that of Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 that I keep driving home is that the developmental tools needed for Kingdom Hearts 3 have already been solidified thanks to the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Remind DLC. The use of the Unreal Engine, the Kingdom Shader, and the assets are now in place, same way Kingdom Hearts 1 was to Kingdom Hearts 2. And considering now that Nomura has multiple big teams working internally for multiple Kingdom Hearts projects confirmed by him, we can easily see a turnaround that is a callback to either releases of Kingdom Hearts 1 to 2 or what happened after Kingdom Hearts 2 with Recoded, Birth by Sleep, and 358 Days. And we're talking about that internally as a business, that goes in line with Square Enix's new policy with showing off games that are now way into development rather than showing off games very early in development, like with the case of Final Fantasy Versus 13, which became 15, and of course Kingdom Hearts 3 that got revealed in 2013 but didn't release all the way until 19. They want to avoid that now, and the biggest case for that is Final Fantasy 16. And when I'm talking about the other side of the coin, Disney's own investment to see returns off this franchise since it's doing so much better with each grander release, growing success of the franchise as time goes on. Not to say that they want to fast track releases, but that they're willing to provide a lot more support than they did back in the day. And then when we also consider what's going on with Nomura, you know, he loves having multiple projects under his belt at the same time. Hey man, if he likes to work, he likes to work. He recently had a repositioned role when it comes to the next entry of the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. That the role of director has been given over to the co-director of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Naoki Hamaguchi, and that he remains as creative director of Part 2. And then when we look on the story side of things when it comes to Kingdom Hearts beyond that of the Dark Seeker saga, we're in a new saga. Kingdom Hearts 4 should truly solidify that fact. And it's not like we need setup. We already have a concise idea of the unknown that we're diving into when it comes to the next saga. We have the establishment of the new when it comes to problems such as Sora being trapped in Quadratum and Riku going after him, the world, you know, Quadratum, Shibuya, Shinjuku, all that. And of course, the idea of the enemies when it comes to the potential of the Foretells, Luxu, the Master of Masters, and the Willful Darknesses, as well as the Master's really messed up plan in order to truly eliminate the Darknesses. It's not like we would go into Kingdom Hearts 4 blind without any type of direction. We have one already. And that is, you know, thanks to the in-between titles and revelations between that of Kingdom Hearts 3 and potentially Kingdom Hearts 4. With that being said, I tend to count Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind as a DLC, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road and the Union Cross finale, and of course Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, which are the games between that of Kingdom Hearts 3 and 4. So when people constantly say that we need more side games between that of 3 and 4, we kinda got them, and a lot of people tend to not count Dark Road or Melody of Memory, and they're right there. And you know, I tend to count Remind because that is a huge deal. Same way I tend to count final mixes of Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and Birth by Sleep when it comes to the next game. And you know, with the 20th anniversary of the series coming out next year and Nomura, you know, dropping those little breadcrumbs for something big that's gonna be happening, I feel that the reveal, or at least information about Kingdom Hearts 4, is imminent. But if we do get another game between that of 3 and 4, I would feel that a YoZora game or a Venom Rex game will be welcome in order to establish that character in that world a little bit more. But when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 4, I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments in the comment section below on what you think the situation could play out as, and your thoughts about the incoming potential of Kingdom Hearts 4. Be sure to like, share, and most importantly subscribe to HMK for more Kingdom Hearts content going into the future. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. This has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.